Okay, so we're going to start Unit 2 and just turn to your next blank page. And then you're just going to be writing this right in your notebook on the next page. Just turn here, write Unit 2, and we're going to get started. I'm going to write here on this extra page just for the video. So, but you're writing this in your notebook. Okay, so this is number 2.1. Review graphing inequalities. And we're going to start off by talking about the different ways that graphs look, and we're going to graph them on number lines. If I have an x and I have a greater than, this is a greater than like this, that one on the number line is going to look like a open circle, not colored in, so open circle, and an arrow going to the right. And remember, the x is always going to be on this side. X always on the left. So this would be like x is greater than a number. If we had x is less than a number, it would be an open circle, and it would be going to the left. If I have x is greater than or equal to, it would be a colored in circle going to the right. If I have x is less than or equal to, it would be a colored in circle going to the left. So keep these at the top of your notes for when we start on this next part. So now let's just do some inequalities. We're going to do some problems here. So we have 2, copy this down, 6x minus 5 is less than 14. So how do we solve this? Well, we're going to distribute. 12x minus 10 is less than 14. Then we're going to add the 10 to the other side just like we did before. 12x is less than 24. How do we solve that? We divide by 12, and we get x is less than 2. Then we're going to graph it on a number line. And you just put in 0, 1, 2, like this. I don't really require you to do a whole lot with this. And then what we know is if it's less than, it's going to be an open circle like this one at 2, and it's going to be all the numbers going this way. If it makes you happy to use a different color for this part, you could totally use a different color here. So let's do another one. 7x plus 1 over 3 is greater than or equal to 5. Okay, how do I get rid of something on bottom? Well, I get rid of something on bottom, and notice I have to do the bottom thing first because this is all stuck together on top. So I have to do the bottom first. So first I'm going to multiply times 3 to get rid of the thing on bottom. So I have 7x plus 1 is greater or equal to 15. Then I'm going to minus the 1. Then I've got 7x is greater or equal to 14. Then I'm going to divide by the 7, and I get x is greater or equal to 2. Draw my number line, 0, 1, 2. And I want anything, I want the colored in circle, and if it's greater than, it's pointing this way, just like that is, and it's going this way. 2x, oops, sorry, it's focusing. Negative 2x is less than 5, minus 5 is less than 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 5 to both sides. So this cancels, and I get negative 2x is less than 8. Now what we have to remember from Algebra 1 is the next step here is divide by a negative. And here's your little note, and make a little star. If you multiply or divide by a negative, like I'm about to do right here, I'm going to divide by a negative, you flip the sign. In other words, you take a less than, and you make it a greater than. Or you take a less than or equal, and you make it a greater than equal. It always flips the sign to the other one. So this cancels, I get x, and I flip the sign to make it greater than negative 4. To graph this, it's now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, negative 4. going to be on this side, open circle, because it's there, and it's going to go this way. Is going to be 15x plus 19 is greater than or equal to 10x minus 11. Now this one is different because it's got x's on both sides. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get the x's all on one side, and I really want them to be on this side because all the ones we've done have the x on this side. That's the way we've got it set up. So I want to move this over there. To do that, I'm going to go minus 10x and minus 10x. And I get 5x plus 19 is greater than or equal to negative 11. Now I want the 19 to go to this side. So I'm going to minus 19. And I get 5x, these cancel, is greater than or equal to negative 30. Then divide by my 5. Do I need to flip the sign? No, I only flip the sign if I multiply by a negative. This is not negative, so I don't have to do anything. X is greater than or equal to negative 30 by 5 is negative 6. Draw my line. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's going to go colored in circle because it's got the equals. Colored in circle, and it's going to go that way. Okay, I'm going to fit one more on here, and this one looks a little funny, but I'm going to show you how to make it super easy. So here it is, and it's got two x's, so I want to get the x's together, and it's got a 2 on bottom, and the first thing I want you to always remember is if you've got something on bottom and you want to get rid of it, you can just multiply times whatever's on bottom. Because here, what is 2 divided by 2? Well, anything divided by itself is just 1. So this is why this will literally just cancel out when I do it. And I multiply both sides times 2, so I keep it equal on both sides. Now I can just distribute it over here, and I get 2x plus 10 is less than x. And I want this specifically because I told you really want the x on this side. But if I move it over, I'm going to get a 0 over here. So I want you to see that I can do it the other way and then fix it at the end. So I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to move this to this side. Minus 2x, minus 2x. And I get 10 is less than 1 minus 2 is negative x. Now first of all, I have to do divide by negative 1 to get rid of this negative sign here. And we said if we multiply or divide by a negative, I need to flip the sign. So I'm going to have negative 10, and I'm going to flip the sign, and these negatives cancel, leaving me with x. So here's my thing. But this isn't in the right order to graph it. In order to graph it, I want the x to be on the left side. So I want it to look like this, x. Now, if we look at this part here, in order to turn it around and put the x on this side, which side is this alligator mouth pointing at? Well, the alligator mouth is pointing at the x, so when I rewrite it and I turn it around, the alligator mouth still has to point at the x. So here, this is going to be, if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's going to be an open circle at 10, and it's going to go that way.